Have you ever felt like the more you understand, the harder it is to connect? Like every time you dive deeper into thought, the world around you seems to drift further away. If you've experienced this, you're not alone. Deep thinking isn't just an intellectual exercise, it's a path that often leads to distance, discomfort, and yes, even isolation. But why? Why is it that those who see the world more clearly often find themselves standing alone? Let's unpack that. Throughout history, society has quietly resisted those who think too deeply, not because they were wrong, but because they were unsettling. Socrates was executed for questioning Athens' values. Nietzsche was labeled mad for challenging morality. Tesla died broke, dismissed as eccentric, despite reshaping the modern world. These weren't just brilliant people. They were people who saw too much, too soon. And in seeing differently, they forced society to look at itself, something most people instinctively avoid. Here's the paradox. Deep thinkers aren't feared for being wrong. They're feared because they might be right. And being right before others are ready is rarely rewarded. Psychologists call this cognitive dissonance, the mental discomfort we feel when our beliefs are challenged. But deep thinkers don't just challenge ideas, they challenge identity. See, we define ourselves by what we think, what we believe, what we know to be true. When someone enters a conversation with radically different insights, it doesn't just feel like disagreement, it feels personal. And that triggers resistance, not out of malice, but self-preservation. The human brain was built for survival, not truth. For most of history, staying part of the group meant staying alive. Blending in was safer than standing out. And so we evolved to seek comfort, not confrontation. Familiarity, not complexity. So when a deep thinker introduces a challenging idea, no matter how logical or insightful, it sets off alarms. Not in the conscious mind, but in the primal brain, the part that still associates social discomfort with danger. That's why people may laugh it off, change the topic, or even attack the messenger. Deep thinking has always come with a social cost, but that cost is magnified in modern culture. In the age of social media, attention goes to the loudest voice, not the wisest one. Algorithms reward outrage, not nuance. And platforms are designed to favor quick takes over slow thought. Complexity doesn't go viral. Certainty does. This is why charismatic simplicity wins more influence than uncomfortable truths. Because most people aren't looking to be challenged, they're looking to be affirmed. But here's the deeper reason society resists deep thinkers. Intelligence reflects. It doesn't just speak, it mirrors. When someone with intellectual depth speaks, they reflect back to others what they haven't questioned. That's unsettling. It's easier to reject the reflection than to examine it. This is what Schopenhauer hinted at when he said, "A high intellect often makes a man unsocial, not because the thinker lacks empathy, but because the world is often allergic to introspection." So what can you do if you're someone who sees the world differently? If you're a thinker in a world of surface-level chatter? First, embrace solitude not as exile, but as a sanctuary. Some of the most profound breakthroughs in history were born in isolation. Second, don't try to convince everyone. Not every idea is meant for every room. Choose your audience. Speak where minds are open, not just ears. And finally, master the art of translating complexity into clarity. As Einstein said, if you can't explain it simply, you don't understand it well enough. You don't have to water down your thoughts, but you can make them accessible. And that's how deep thinking becomes impactful. In the end, deep thinking is a lonely road, but it's also a liberating one. Yes, you may feel misunderstood. Yes, you may be dismissed or ignored, but understand this: you are not wrong. You are simply ahead of your time. And the world, though slow to listen, has has always moved forward because of minds like yours. So keep thinking, keep questioning, even if no one's listening now. History shows someday they will.